I remember the first time I saw Elena play tennis. It was at a local club we joined 2 summers ago, a joint effort to try something new, something to break the routine. She had on a sun visor, that light blue skirt she always said made her feel light, and a backhand that wasn't perfect, but she swung with such joy it didn't matter. I fell in love with her all over again on that court. Back then, our life was full. Not without stress. We had our disagreements, mostly about money and time, but we were partners. Married 6 years, no kids yet, though we were trying. At least, I thought we were. The pressure of fertility treatments, work deadlines, and an aging fixer-upper of a home had put some cracks in the foundation. But I thought we were patching them together. She was the glue, or so I believed. Tennis started as a weekend thing, but then she joined a clinic on Wednesdays. She said it was a good way to stay fit, meet people, de-stress. I was all for it. I encouraged her. Bought her a new racket last Christmas, even surprised her with private lessons with one of the pros at the club, Derek. Derek was about my age, mid-30s, maybe a little older. Tall, lean, every bit the classic tennis coach. Tanned arms, perpetual sunglasses, that confident smile that always seemed one notch too comfortable. Elena said he was good. Really patient, really observant, she'd tell me after each session. I was glad. Anything to keep her spirits up during that rough year. Then came the small changes. She started dressing a bit more carefully before practice. Longer showers after lessons. One night, she came home with a bruise on her collarbone. Said it was from a serve that hit her wrong. I wanted to believe it. So I did. Until I couldn't. I had come by the club one afternoon unannounced. I'd gotten off work early and thought I'd surprise her, maybe even watch her play for a bit. The courts were quiet, only one was in use. From a distance, I saw them, Elena and Derek. It wasn't anything overt, just a pause between drills. But they stood too close. She touched his arm, and he leaned in, speaking low into her ear. She laughed, her real laugh, the one she hadn't used with me in months. I left before they saw me. I didn't confront her right away. I wanted to be sure. Maybe I was being paranoid, overthinking a harmless friendship. That's what I told myself while I quietly installed a GPS tracker on her car and created a fake account on the club's booking site to track their court times. I wish I hadn't. The evidence was mundane but damning. Private lessons that turned into late-night court reservations. Sometimes, just the two of them, long after the club was supposed to close. One night, I drove back after midnight and parked far from the lot. I walked the perimeter of the fence, barely daring to breathe. Court 5 was lit. And there they were. They weren't playing. No rackets in sight. Just her, pressed against the net, his hands on her waist, her mouth barely muffling a moan that didn't belong to friendship or even lust. It sounded like betrayal. I didn't make a sound. I just turned and left, and with each step away from that court, I felt something unravel inside me. Something I couldn't patch back together. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling fan turning slow circles above me, each rotation slicing a little deeper into my chest. She came home around 2 a.m. said she'd stayed late to rally with some clinic friends. She smiled, kissed my forehead like I was a child, and went to shower. I said nothing. What do you say when the person you love, the one you built a life around, rewrites your shared story without you? When they turn your marriage into a side plot for their new thrill? Over the next week, I played my part. I was calm. Kind even. I made breakfast. Asked about her day. Watched her tell me lies through those eyes I used to see the world through. I had to know what it felt like to say goodbye before she even realized I was leaving. Then Saturday came, the club tournament. She was excited, even asked if I'd come watch her play. I said yes. It was warm, overcast, the sky hanging low like it knew what was coming. I sat alone in the back corner bleachers, hidden behind a row of pines. She didn't know I was already there. I saw her arrive in a hoodie and shorts, but within minutes she stripped down to a tennis dress I didn't recognize, shorter, tighter, white. Derek was already on court 4. I knew that court. It had a broken light, the far corner dipped slightly from poor leveling. She always hated that court. But not today. They warmed up. Then the drills stopped. He walked over, whispered something. She laughed, again that laugh, and then, then, it was like watching a movie in slow motion. He moved behind her. She leaned into the net, laughing, glancing around. His hands on her hips. Their bodies rocking softly, rhythmically. The quiet bounce of the net. And then the unmistakable intimacy of it, the absolute certainty that what I had with her had died on that court long before I ever saw it. I stayed just long enough to feel the final thread snap. By the time she came home, I was gone. I left a note, simple, cold. You broke something I can't fix. The game's over, Elena. I cut her off everywhere. Bank accounts, passwords, access. I gave myself 3 days at a friend's cabin to scream into the woods, cry into my coffee, and unravel in peace. Then I met with a lawyer. Divorce was swift. No children, no shared business, no mercy. Elena tried to call, text, email. Apologies, explanations, even threats. I never replied. The last thing I read from her was, I made a mistake, but I still love you. But that's the thing, isn't it? Sometimes love doesn't matter. Trust is the scaffolding that holds it up, and when you kick out enough supports, it crumbles. It's been 9 months. I don't play tennis anymore. I started hiking. Something about walking forward without a destination makes sense now. I've lost weight, shaved my beard, and finally learned to cook more than pasta and toast. I'm not healed, not completely, but I'm healing. People always say closure is a door you close. But for me, it's a gate I walk through, never looking back. Sometimes I wonder if she still plays. Sometimes I don't care. And sometimes, when I pass by a court and hear the thwack of a ball against strings, I feel the echo of what was lost and what I've found since.